So hopefully we can do this all in one part and not have to break it up like two, and then we'll do a horrible job of trying to get out episode 2 on schedule.
Fingers crossed.
Well, episode 2's out now of time of recording, so yay.
Yes.
Hopefully if we can get this done quick enough, this should be out tomorrow.
See how we go.
Although I guess, should we quickly explain what we're doing here?
Absolutely. All right, so today we're going to be having a listen to Peaky P-key's latest single release, Echoing Chaos Star Countdown.
Which is actually a little different to Electric Chaos Countdown. Well, Star Countdown. Not only because they use 2 different stars.
Yeah.
We'll explain it now. It's actually hollowed out in this one where it's actually, colored in the older one, which we'll probably cover someday.
Someday.
I guess once we get the singles out of the way, and then probably the cover tracks, because I really want to cover the cover tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, should we get into it?
Oh yeah, enough messing about. Let's dig in. Okay, it looks like you were enjoying it.
Yeah. Damn, that was a really strong start.
But that's the one thing I do really like about it is that, it has a solid start.
With a few little surprises as well.
Although I do have one complaint. It's not loud enough. Can you just turn it up a little?
Sure. So yeah, that initial intro was quite interesting with the a cappella vocal starting things off. Definitely wasn't expecting that, but also considering just finishing All Mix, and I wonder if there's any sort of crossover influence from what we heard in All Mix with Lyrical Lily and their sort of like a cappella hymn things that they brought to the table.
I think you may be onto something there, but I wouldn't say definitively.
Yeah. Just a theory at this point. But yeah, that was cool. And then
not unless Bushy Road hits us up.
Yeah. Get some insider knowledge. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
But and then after that, a pretty solid return to a very classic Peaky P-key sound, I feel.
Yeah, you can say that.
Definitely that strong dubstep sound I'm hearing. But then once the actual vocals came in, I wasn't quite sure if like the verse had kicked in yet, because when they do come in, they're quite subtle. They have that sort of like filtered lo-fi vibe, which was nice, but yeah, it was just a little bit confusing as to if that was the verse or not. But then the actual lead vocals come in sort of a bit after that and sort of like solidifies the idea. What do you think so far?
It's pretty good. Although
it's pretty good.
compared to, it's similar namesake. I think it's not as good, but then that's probably because I do hold that one up here where I hold this song kind of, don't get me wrong, I still have a pretty high bar, but it's like the bar's not quite there yet for it to even come close to Electric Chaos Countdown.
Fair enough. That's a good comparison, I think. Particularly, because of the namesake, you would think that, there's some connection between the two, maybe other than the name. All right, back to it.
vibe, here we go 挑発はビートで返すんだってしびれて全身はヘブヘブヘブヘブエビートして化けても心は押してキス
Whoa, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, I just saw just your face light up as soon as that bit hit.
Yeah, that was again quite surprising. I mean, it definitely has that Peaky P-key feel of like the chopping changing from different styles, but it always seems to catch you off guard, which I kind of enjoy with this sort of stuff. Yeah, that was wild.
Like as I was kind of saying earlier in the previous point, this song definitely has its moments, but I think it just doesn't quite, again, as I said, stack up. But it's moments like this is like, yeah, this is a really good song.
Yeah.
So it definitely clears the bar for being a good Peaky song, but doesn't quite clear the bar of some of their best hits.
I get you.
So a bit of clarification there.
Yeah, fair enough. I did really enjoy that sort of like cyberpunk sort of section before the chorus came in. That was pretty cool. And then the chorus is a pretty standard sort of Peaky P-key chorus, I think. Hits pretty hard, lots of vocal work happening, nice layering of sounds and everything like that. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's kind of, again, speed through this.
Peaky, oh yeah! Rock on the mix, マックスまで乱入1000億ギャラクシーもんぜじゃんじゃんもう止まらない無口じゃ私にそう勝てない範囲一人のウィッシュみんなのウィッシュ10人隊がここに集まろう歌うことで人間男性理由もなくあるわせち You're mine, oh my Peaky P-key Our Peaky, here we go 最上級も見下ろしてくパワー超能力じゃない今のヘブヘブヘブヘブ住み着いた音を積み重ねて
Pretty interesting.
Well, you actually beat me to it. I think we kind of almost synced up for a second there. But as I was going to say before, you kind of did jump a little ahead of me, is that it actually sort of gives me well, God, what's his name? Simon Vivid or something like that. The guy who did the soundtrack for Payday 2, I think maybe Payday 1.
Yep.
Has kind of those similar vibe to that.
Yeah, I can hear that. Definitely.
Especially in that section there.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely the tempo and yeah, that's sort of like the feeling of urgency that it's sort of bringing, like, you know, you get that sort of vibe like something is very urgent and you're trying to get somewhere, something's chasing you. This could definitely be a song, yeah, in like any sort of racing game or something that's very high stakes like Payday. Where
you know, we need to do that, actually cover the Payday soundtrack in the future, because if I'm already like, I know I'm already vibing out right now, but listening to that, I think you could audibly hear me jam out to it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think as well, I think you pointed out something pretty good. Like with the Payday soundtrack, I guess there's a little bit more rock or metal influence, where I think if you took that section from this song and replace the synthesizers with heavy electric guitars, I think it could fit very well into the Payday soundtrack, just because, of the tempo and the vibe that it's bringing.
Yeah. Although one thing though is that even if we don't get around to covering the Payday soundtrack, I would love to kind of review and kind of pick your brain about Gunmetal Grey.
Oh yeah,
which is the music you hear during the First World Bank.
Is a good song. And then we get the chorus again, and it's sort of the same
old.
Yeah, same old as the other one. Nothing new there. I am enjoying the big like explosion sound effects, helping the transitions. Yeah, all right.
Let's get on with it, shall we?
Here we go 夢はビートからカウントダウン手しびれて全身はヘブヘブヘブヘブエリートして負けても心は落ちたビキショ最上級も見下ろしてくパワー超能力じゃない今のヘブヘブヘブヘブ住み着いた音を積み重ねて上がるよビキショ今宵はまシュアップしてバーチャルな最後からのラッシュアップ
There we go.
Cool. It's just one little comment on that sort of section before the chorus comes back. Something you mentioned before we started listening to this one was the cover art and how you thought it reminds you much more of Rondo.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel in that section right before the last chorus comes in, again, I think you really could replace the synthesizer with a heavy electric guitar and it could almost sub for a Rondo song.
That would actually be interesting.
Just because, yeah, it really has the feel of like a metal breakdown just with, yeah, all electronic elements, which is pretty cool.
Now I want to see a Rondo cover of this.
That'd be cool.
Bushy Road, make it happen.
Yeah. Do it. And then we get a chorus again, stock standard, nothing new, but then pretty nice outro to end things off.
As I clarifies my statement about where it stands. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I think it probably ties or even surpasses Electric Chaos Countdown, but it's still, again, very close. It'd be like only like a, not even like a hair width
Right.
of a gap.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think...
Because like, yeah, it's like, okay, it's okay, but now kind of listening to it and that, it's like there's a lot more going on than I initially thought.
Right. Yeah. And I'm also thinking, like, again, we've just finished watching All Mix, and the whole idea of All Mix was like collaboration between units. So I really am hearing influence from the other units, probably more so now than ever, which, again, I'm wondering if that is a conscious decision or not from the producers.
It could also be accidental, but we
Yeah.
don't know.
Exactly.
Although I think this was released to the game, I think, a bit before the All Mix came out.
Oh, okay. Right.
I'm not sure. I think the dates are close.
Yep. Well, they probably would have been working on stuff all around the same time. So, yeah, there could be some cross-pollination. But, yeah, overall, a really strong start for the single. Interested to see how the next song carries over this energy.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely kind of interested to your initial impressions of the B-side.
Yeah. What's your overall thoughts, for the A-side?
It's definitely kind of, I wasn't giving as much credit as I should have been, and that's why I want to revise my statement. But yeah, it's definitely kind of a lot better now that I'm actually, well, I guess listening to it, which is kind of weird because I was listening to it before and it was like, it's good, but it's not up there with the greats. But I think now, well, again, really focusing in on the nuances and that.
Yeah, definitely a big difference between passive and active listening.
Not only that, but also I haven't listened to this song as much as the others.
That as well.
But that's also because it is a newer song.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to get in 1,000 hours of this song in a short amount of time.
I wouldn't be surprised if I had close to 1,000 hours on Electric Chaos Countdown. Or
Yeah.
I definitely know I'd have basically 1,000 or more on Let's Do the Big Bang.
I don't doubt it. All right, ready to move on to the B-side?
Yep.
止めどない想い価値を超えそのもっと深いここでつながるよ明日も未来もきっかけなんてのはあるようでないのもどうせ神のおぼしなし振り落ちちゃったんだ合点がいくってつぼして嬉しそうにしてだってそこが I D my ID 出会えたから
I was wondering when you're going to pause, and that's just the right spot there.
Oh, cool.
I do have a lot to say about the opening, but I want you to go ahead and go first.
Yeah. I was kind of expecting the B-side to be a little less full-on and intense and a little bit more mellowed out. And that's kind of what we get.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, and a little bit of a change in genre as well from like, yeah, that full-on dubstep.
Well, it sort of is a bit of a change in genre.
Yeah. And then this one, the B-side, it definitely has...
Like definitely at the start, they kind of do have a bit of a similar sound to Slub Bus.
Yeah, yep. Definitely once the kick drum comes in, you get that sort of thing happening.
Not only that, but I was saying, isn't there like a genre like that's kind of like based on like the old like soundtracks of like those old like like early Nintendo games and that? I think it's like an 8-bit or something.
Yeah.
Got a bit of that in there too.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one thing that I was going to mention. The sounds that they've gone with, I feel, compared to the A side, which it's just hard to tell what's going on because there's so much going on. It's one of those ones you need to have.
Isn't that the Peaky trademark of like, just a lot going on?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones where you have to listen to it a couple of times to pull apart all the pieces. Where this one, just because it is a bit slower in tempo, there's a bit more space in the composition. The sounds that they're using are easier to hear on the first listen through at least. And yeah, those little like video game bit crushed sounds of like 18 and 16-bit, very reminiscent to all those old video game titles, which I enjoyed. That was nice little textures.
Like I'm trying to think, the oldest game I would have played, I think would have to be Mario 64.
Yep. Cool.
Although I would I know I've played some of the early Atari games. I think it was 2600, I believe.
Yeah, like Space Invaders.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. And then there was a really nice transition section out of verse 1 into the chorus, which just made that transition very smooth. And then the chorus was really nice as well. Again, some really nice synthesizer sounds, vocal layering, all the production is very nice, sounds good. And as I mentioned before, I definitely think like the space in this song, they've used it very well. Like there was
as I say, the space is definitely well utilized.
Yeah. Like there was a little section with in the chorus where things like dropped out for a second and it was just the vocals and some of the synth sounds. Very nice, very effective, and gives you that like little reprieve for a second before everything comes back in.
Although we did forget to do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot to mention the name of the song before we got on with it, which is Ideal Factor.
Ideal Factor.
I guess it's no better than, we're basically halfway to the song and now we just name drop the title.
And then there's that little like transition section after the chorus as well, which kind of confused me because I wasn't sure if the chorus was finished yet or not, but sometimes you need that. And I guess it does. It is very on theme for Peaky. Having some little confusion parts here and there. All right.
Yeah.
Back to it.
いつ何時も半世紀前から知り合って聞かれたりして重力なんかにも負けない生き情緒友情も愛情もワンチャン自然の絆そうだってそこがマニアアイディ唯一無二よ熱々のマインを奪ってみてチュワチュワチャ 緒
There we are.
I mean, you weren't wrong on saying that the previous section where we paused was the perfect section to stop at, because after that, it definitely went in a very interesting direction where, you know, we got this, rather than going to like just another verse, they kind of go to a whole nother section, which could be a bridge, I guess, but it really extends out to something quite interesting. I mean, it definitely has that that same sort of sub bass sort of pulsating kick drum moving things along, but some really nice sounds.
Yeah, definitely. That's the one thing I do like about Ideal Factor. It's just it's got a little bit of everything. It's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, the synth bass sound was really cool, and it was doing a lot of different things. You know, some moments it was just like very standard doing a bass job, but then other times it was really moving around and adding all this really dynamic texture and very cool. And then, I mean, in classic Peaky fashion, there's those little moments of like 2 or 3 seconds where it just drops in like a completely different genre or sound, and then it goes back into sort of like what it was already doing. Very cool. Breaks things up very nicely and just adds these little bits of like interesting, almost like bits of like candy in a bowl of popcorn or something like that, where like you're eating and it's like, it's nice, this is good popcorn, and then you get like a chunk of something very different. What's your thoughts on this one?
It's for, I guess, the other B-sides, even though we haven't kind of covered them, I'd say this ranks highly amongst some, like, it's not better than, well, I guess it's up there with Wish You Luck, but I think Wish You Luck definitely does beat it out, but it's definitely up there compared to the other B-side songs and the other singles.
That's a great point. I definitely think, I think I agree with you there on Wish You Luck is pretty high, but very rarely, particularly in, I think, like the last run of singles from all of the units that we listened to, the B-sides were a little bit lackluster. They didn't quite hold up from what I remember to the A-sides, particularly on the covers. But yeah, this whole single A and B side, they're both quite strong.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I hope that the others kind of follow a similar suit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for all the other units, I think, to be able to keep up with Peaky P-key here.
So I guess on which is the best fourth single so far, it's Peaky P-key.
Well,
but I guess that's just because by default.
For sure, but they're definitely going to be top contenders, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Although, moving on to that, let's kind of talk about the other covers, even though you kind of did bring it up. In this case, there's a bit more than just a border change going on with the standard and special edition.
Yeah.
Oh, they do keep the blue outline. Okay.
Yeah. So it really is just
a little more going on in the background too that I just noticed now.
Definitely, we've got the standard edition. It looks good, but as you said, I do feel it kind of encroaches on Rondo style a little bit too much. Oh yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, I really do like the special
edition.
Yeah,
the special version. Yeah, definitely. I thought they actually didn't keep the blue outline, but I guess it's not really a blue outline. It's more of a purplish in this case.
I guess it does, yeah. You're not wrong. It does come across a little bit more purplish than blue with the pink background, but definitely makes it easier to see some of those little background Easter eggs, maybe.
Well, details.
Details, yeah, compared to the black one.
Actually, those details are there. I just had to kind of get a better look.
Yeah.
But they just blend in a bit too much.
I think so, yeah. They get lost a bit too easy compared to the pink. I mean, interesting. It doesn't have all the members of Peaky P-key.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing. But I guess it definitely is a little bit different to what we've seen for the other singles and that.
Even comparing it, to the previous single release. Let Us Sing.
Yeah, Let Us Sing.
Yeah.
That one's also probably one of the more visually nice looking ones from the third singles.
So like comparing it to this single release, as you said, quite different. Bit of a...
It's different, style, I guess.
Yeah, a departure from, because Because when I think of, I mean, a lot of the singles, but definitely the Peaky P-key ones, they always seem to feature all of the members of the unit.
Well, I guess by this time you kind of, are familiar with them, so.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's a good point. They're not necessarily a new artist at this point. So I guess they can sort of, get away from keeping to their brand and reach out, try something different.
I think for the special edition, I think it really worked out.
Yeah.
I think the standard edition is a bit of a dud.
It's a bit lackluster, for sure. Like if someone showed me, which one would you choose, or more importantly, which one would you pay money for? I'm definitely going the special edition.
Yeah.
There's just it stands out so much more.
I think that would be really nice just to have as a display.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I'm not sure if it'd be an interesting conversation starter, especially someone who doesn't know what it is.
For sure. Any last thoughts on?
No, not really. It does what it's kind of what needs to do for it to be a P-key single, and it does it really well. No more comment other than that.
Yeah, I'd agree. Really solid start for this round of singles. A really good, I don't want to say return to form, but it kind of is. I feel, as you said, you get exactly what you expect and a little bit, and then some, and and then some surprises as well. So that's nice. It shows that there's always room to grow.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's cool.
So I guess what's our rating for it?
Yeah, out of 10. That's a good question.
For me, this is tough. Probably going to go with a 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Good, but again, it's got a ways to go to matching some of the first single. But that's just because, again, the first single was so good. It's like a very high to kind of compare to it.
For sure. I would say, considering it as an entire package, I think probably a 7.5 as well. I think if they had used the special edition artwork for just the main artwork, I may have ranked it a little bit higher. But considering that, I'm going to say 7.5. Will that do us?
Yeah, let's start wrapping this up. I'll let you take it away because I got to go to the loo.
Sure.
So I guess, this is Briggsy signing off.
All right. Well, that does us for this one. Leave your comments below on what you guys think of this new single from Peaky P-key. Do you prefer the A side or the B side? And what do you guys think of the standard versus special edition cover art? Which is your favorite? Make sure you check out the description box below to links to all of our social media accounts and other good things down there. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this content. Leave us a like and share us with your friends. That'll definitely help us out. And you'll catch us in the next one.